So students, let's move to the third part, Chapter 2, Civics, that is a Union Executive. So this is the Prime Minister's Office, South Block, New Delhi. So we are going to study the position of the Prime Minister. What is the position when we have a President, we have Parliament, and we have Council of Ministers? What is the position of the President? The Prime Minister selects other ministers. So it is a Prime Minister. When he becomes a Prime Minister, he selects other ministers and distribute folios. It's written here, he distribute portfolios among them. He presides over cabinet meeting and decides the business to be transacted at such a meeting. So all the cabinet meetings are convened by the Prime Minister. Important issues are discussed about the country and about the external affairs of the country. So students, Prime Minister can also demand the resignation of any minister. So often this happens if there are any lapses in the ministry, particular ministry, home ministry, defense ministry. So he can ask any minister to resign. So on the advice of Prime Minister, the President will ask resignation of a Prime Minister. Resignation of a minister. Then he reports to the President the decision of the cabinet, whatever meetings are discussed, whatever cabinet does in their ministry, the decisions and reports are submitted to the President, and also advise the President on proroguing or dissolving the Lok Sabha. Proroguing means finishing the session going on in the Parliament and dissolving the House. Lok Sabha dissolves on the advice of Prime Minister. So that is done by the President on the advice of a Prime Minister. The Prime Minister can also expand his cabinet. So if he wants, he can increase the members of his cabinet. Cabinet is the senior ministers, who take important decisions about the country. He advises the President on various appointments to important posts such as judges to the Supreme Court and governors. Then, civil services. The President, the Prime Minister, and the Council of Ministers form the political executive at the center, because they move every 5 years. New government come, successive government come. Who are the permanent people? These are the civil servants, the officers, the defense officers, the railway officers, the PWD officers, the income tax officer. So these are the important learned people who have well-versed knowledge in all their fields. Prime Minister, President, or Council of Ministers, they don't have knowledge. They are the representative of the people. But the important who runs the administration are the civil servants. The cabinet only formulates the policies, while the real execution is left to the civil or public servants. They are not members of any political party. They are not members of political party. And they are expected to be impartial in the implementation of a policy or a law. Though they have to obey the ruling party, but still they have to be impartial. They are the administrative or the permanent executive, because they are well versed in their knowledge about their subject or department, not the ministers. So most of the civil servants at the center are selected by the Union Public Commission. So that's all of your chapter, civics chapter. Now let's come to the exercise. Tick the correct answer. Who among the following was the President of India first? It is A. Rajendra Prasad. The governor of a state is appointed by the President. Who is the ex-officio chairperson of Rajya Sabha? It is a Vice President. C. How many members are nominated to the Rajya Sabha? 12. B part. Who can issue ordinances or orders when the parliament is not in session? It is a president. So, filling the blanks. A person to be appointed as a minister must be a member of either of the house. The Prime Minister presides the business to be carried on by the cabinet. The Vice President is elected for a period of 5 years. The Prime Minister, I have written there PM, but it's a Prime Minister, distribute portfolios among the ministers. Civil servants are the administrative or permanent executive. Civil servants. So these are the matchups 3, 4, 5, 2, 1. And these are the true false. First true, false, true, false, true. Question answers. Who is the chief executive of the Indian Union? President. Who votes for him? The elected members of both the houses and state legislative assemblies. You can note down the elected members of both the houses and state legislative assemblies. State 2 executive and 2 judicial powers of the president. Under what circumstances can president proclaim a state of emergency? So all these three answers from second part, all these three answers are on page 126. So you can take any 2 executive powers. 2 executive powers. Make it short, this one. He appoints state governors and judges of the Supreme Court, etc. You can write there, etc. Okay, take this point, first one, and then take this point, only 1 or 2 lines. Then, judicial power, he is not answerable to any law court for his exercise of his powers. That's all. Till powers you can take this point. Then, he can pardon, remit or suspend a sentence of a punishment given by court. That's all. Court, till court you can take. Okay. And third point, under emergency power, this one. There is a breakdown of the constitutional machinery. This is a third part. Second question, third part. There is a breakdown of constitutional machinery in a state. Then, what are the functions of the cabinet? Page 128. You can take page 128. All important decisions are taken by the cabinet ministers, and the decision of the cabinet are binding upon all other ministers. That's all. Name the 3 categories of minister. It is a cabinet ministers, state ministers, and deputy ministers. What is the position of the prime minister? Mention his powers on page 130. On page 130 you can take this one, prime minister and the council of ministers. Okay, this one. Then, do you think the president of India should be directly elected by the people, or why? According to my opinion, I think he should be elected indirectly. Why? Because he is a nominal head or a constitutional head. Okay, so then there will be president's chair is a chair of prestige and glory for the country. And moreover, India is a republic So presidents should be elected indirectly. So this you can write down whatever I have spoken. Okay. All the ministers, including prime minister, swim and sink together. Explain. Take page 128. You can take start from here. The prime minister and the council of ministers are directly elected till people. Okay. Mention the role of civil servant in executing policy. Last answer. So, on page 128, the cabinet only formulates the policy while the real execution is left to the civil or public servants. Okay. And are expected to be impartial in the implementation of policy or a law. That's all. So that's all from your chapter and from the syllabus of first term. So goodbye, wish you all the best, and we shall be next part we shall be doing revision.